Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with Cioppino. Finally, I'm doing San Francisco's official recipe. No, it's not rice-a-roni. It's Cioppino, a spicy fish stew, which is basically fish cooked in a tomato and wine broth or sauce. Super easy. So we're going to take some olive oil and butter and saute on medium-low heat 1 onion and 1 rib of celery. So I cut the celery a little smaller, the onions kind of in a large dice. And you want to cook that for about 6-7 minutes until the onion softens. It gets a little bit golden, but you don't want to brown this, okay? I just threw a pinch of salt in there, which kind of helps things along. So there we go, about 7 minutes later, approximately. The onions were, getting a little soft. I'm going to throw in a lot of garlic. Cioppino usually has a bunch of garlic in it, so I had about 5 cloves that I minced up fine. Cook that for about 1 minute, and then we're going to add 2 cups of a good white wine. Okay, something you would drink, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, white wine. All right, bring that to a simmer. I'm gonna add a bay leaf, some dry oregano, and make sure you get all the exact ingredients on the site. And then some red pepper flakes. That's up to you. I used about a half teaspoon. I like it a little spicy. In fact, I put more later. A couple drops of Worcestershire sauce, and then our tomato product. You want 3.5 cups of tomato. I've used sauce, I've used puree, which is what I'm using here. I've used crushed plum tomatoes, I've used diced tomatoes. In the summer, use fresh tomatoes. All right, almost anything works. If you use a tomato sauce, it's got a little extra flavoring in there. Up to you. This is tomato puree. And then I washed out the can of tomato with about 2 cups of water. You can also use clam juice or fish stock. That would work great and give you a little extra flavor. But this is a very basic version I'm showing you here. All right, and then we're going to bring that up to a simmer. Turn it down to low and let that simmer for about 35 minutes to draw all the flavor out of the herbs and the bay leaf and the garlic and the onions. And while that's happening, we're going to get our seafood and other ingredients ready. I have 5 or 6 thin slices of lemon, about a half a cup of chopped herb. Okay, you can use all parsley, but I like a little bit of basil in there too if it's in season. All right, I'm going to use a pound of peeled and deveined shrimp, 12 ounces of any kind of white fish. That's cod, just cut in like 1.5-inch pieces. I have some black mussels, that's 1 pound. And because I'm in San Francisco and I would be, given a ticket if I didn't use it, 1 cooked, cracked Dungeness crab. You don't have to put it, or if you're on the East Coast, use the blue crab, whatever, that's optional. Okay, our tomato wine mixture is ready. It's been cooking about 35 minutes. At this point, if you want it thinner, add some more fish stock or clam juice or water. I like mine a little bit thicker, up to you. Put it on high heat, bring it to a boil. First add your lemon slices. By the way, you might be thinking, why lemon slices? The lemon rind gives it a little bit of a bitterness that to me brings out the sweetness, and it looks cool. We're also going to put in our white fish, our cod, and just bring that back to a simmer. It's only going to take about 2 minutes. When it starts bubbling again, I'm going to add my crab, give that a stir. Once the crab is in, we're going to go ahead and put in the shrimp. And all this is only going to take about 5 minutes to finish. So the fish went in first with the lemon, then the crab, then the shrimp right here. On top of that, last but not least, the mussels. Make sure they're all kind of poked down into the sauce. Then you're going to cover tightly. Again, it's still on high heat. And boil that for 5 minutes. And then take a look and give it a stir. It might be done. It might need another minute. How do you know? All the mussels will open up and you will have a beautiful bubbling pot of cioppino. Your fresh herb goes in at the end. All right, I'm using parsley. You could also put fresh tarragon in here. Really, I've never made this the same way twice, to be honest with you. So this is not the cioppino recipe. This is a cioppino recipe. Very important. Do not make things the same way twice. It's no fun. Taste for salt and pepper. All right, I put about a teaspoon of salt altogether. That's just me. You're going to need to taste and adjust. Definitely adjust for hot pepper. I like it spicy. You might not. Spoon it out into a bowl. And by the way, that sourdough in the background was not a prop. You must eat this with sourdough bread dipped in it. It's the only way. It's really not cioppino unless you eat it with sourdough. This would make a great special occasion recipe for a New Year's Eve party or anytime you want to kind of splurge a little bit. Anyway, I hope you give that a try. All the ingredients are on the site. And as always, enjoy.